There is currently a giant storm outside, and because of it, all of my plans that I had for today are cancelled. Which is not a bad thing actually, because me and my giant pieces of MDF are going to have so much fun. Yeah, I had to go outside because I had nothing to eat, really.
I don't know what I was thinking, wearing my flip-flops today.
And then I decided that it is probably a very good idea to stay away from trees, scooters, traffic signs, and all other things, really. So here we are. We are going to finally build the windowsill in my kitchen. Can't even express the excitement that I'm feeling right now. I actually already secretly built something without you guys knowing. So this windowsill is going to wrap around, and it is also going to hide the gas meter and this very ugly radiator over here. We definitely need to figure out something in the form of a little door, because it needs to be accessible. I do also need the heat of this radiator, so we need to create some sort of a design that allows cold air to go in on the bottom and then warm air to come out on top. So I do have this saw table slash kitchen island over here that needs to go over here in the middle, and obviously I want to be able to walk around it. So that's why this windowsill is not going to be all that wide. Right now I have about 25 centimeters all the way around. It is going to be a little bit bigger because the top of the windowsill is going to stick out a bit. A bit of a thing that I had to figure out was the placement of this window and the effect that it is going to have on the openings that I'm going to create on the bottom of the windowsill. I was planning to make one opening over here, one over there, and the same over here on this side. But because of this window placement, I decided that it is probably going to look more beautiful to have two openings. All of the wood that I used for building this frame was wood that I found outside for free. Just a bit more character than to just have MDF everywhere. It was all quite complicated because nothing in this kitchen is straight. The walls aren't straight, the floor isn't straight. I think that I actually did quite an okay job. I still need to figure out the whole design of this bottom part of the windowsill, how the openings are going to look, and yeah. I have some cozy little socks, a very warm sweater, and I also turned up my heat. That was my mother asking me, "Are you still alive?" I was just thinking about how much money it is going to cost me if I make a mistake with cutting this MDF. And then all of a sudden I felt so warm that I actually had to change outfits. this over here is a straight corner. So now we have a gap over here. I don't know if you can see it, but this is ridiculous. This is a 2 centimeter difference. That's not normal. So now the question is, are we going to follow the wall or are we going to make a straight corner? And I am voting for the last option, because otherwise I think it's going to look very strange. So now this is what we are going to consider straight. So that's what I'm going to use as a reference for this angle. This is actually the first fit that I'm doing right now. I just removed a little bit. Not nearly enough though. It's also curved. It's going that way and then a bit more straight and then whoop! Really awkward shape. Okay, so the question right now is how precise do we want to have this, because it's almost the perfect fit. And there's always a chance that I'm going to ruin it. So now this corner is straight. And this is looking a lot better. There's only a tiny little gap over there, but you can't even really see it. The next thing is to create something over here for this to lean on. Oh, nothing more exciting than new screws. New screws are the most exciting thing that happened all week. Nolan is going to be here for a little sleepover, and I actually want to take him on his first ever bike ride. So maybe we can go to a Thrifst-Store, one that is close by, just as a little test ride to get back into the whole taking your baby on your bike situation. Truly turning into a grandma, proper grandma. Okay, I'm going to remove a couple of centimeters from this. Carolina. Nice. We need to fill this up too. The reason why I decided to use a different piece of MDF over here was because of these pipes. It was just the easiest way of getting this in without having to do all kinds of crazy things. Okay, so I just rambled on for about 10 minutes about how amazing my new screws are, but thankfully for you guys I totally forgot to film it. Okay, now this is solid. I just did something even more stupid than the stupid thing that I did in my last video when I was sewing my curtains. Let me show you the crazy mistake that I made. This windowsill obviously is also going to need a front, right? And the plan was to have an overhang over here, like this, and then the front needed to go underneath it. I realized that I made this entire windowsill too narrow because I don't have an overhang. It's just painful, okay? It's painful. So now I have to glue a strip of MDF all the way around this windowsill. I actually already made a mistake over here too. That's why this line is over here instead of in the corner. On the bright side, there are some very beautiful looking corners over here. Over here too, around the radiator pipes. It all looks really, really nice. So yeah, I'm just going to try to focus on the positive side of this whole building, project, disaster, adventure. That's what it is. see. Hi. Ik vind het zo gezellig dat je er bent. So now I'm just waiting until you go over there into the corner to pull this entire box full of stuff apart. Because that's what I would do if I was a baby. Oh no, don't put it in your mouth, it's dirty. Are you ready for your first bike ride? Am I ready for your first bike ride? Eerst even hierin. Here we go. Ben je er klaar voor? Oh, we moeten je kussentje nog hebben. I almost forgot the little pillow. Got it. I think that this is actually the little pillow for the back. But that's okay. Oh! So I think that we are ready. I'm not going to film anything whilst riding my bike because I do want to be careful, but I will give you guys a little update. Nolan, ga je mee op de fiets? Ja? Spannend, hè? There's a tiny little spider on my tiny little cabinet. I'm trying to convince my brain that everything is fine, but my brain is just screaming, "No! You need to move out because I never saw you paying rent. See ya!" So this is a very old, adorable little cabinet that actually came with a handle and also legs, and it was painted green. No, the legs and the door were painted green in this beautiful color that I do like, but it's not really for me. So I already decided to, well, change it up a little bit. But then I got totally knocked out by this incredibly horrifying stomach flu. It started with Nolan getting sick. He also had some red spots everywhere. So first I was thinking maybe he's just getting the chicken pox. But as we found out later, they weren't chicken pox, and what he had was actually the stomach flu. And then 2 days later everybody else got sick too. So I just went to the hardware store to get myself 2 hinges. Saw this magnificent tree that fell down because the weather also has been very unpredictable. It's just one storm after another. Anyway, I'm going to finish this last little detail and then I want to make this cabinet all nice and cute and I want to put it on top of my windowsill. I'm just so excited about this tiny piece of furniture. I can't even express how happy I felt when I saw this. Oh, and by the way, I only paid €4.50 for it. I know, it's amazing. These two very big nails need to come out. The inside of this cabinet needs to be cleaned because it's really dirty. I also want to make a little shelf and I want to do something fun with it. This door also needs another coat of paint. Cute, cute. Oh yeah. Oh, do you see it? I'm going over there to see if there's something in it. This was exactly what I needed because I need to paint the walls and the ceiling in my tiny little hallway downstairs. I actually just finished painting the floor. And it took me a while because it just needs to dry for quite a long time. And in the meanwhile, I can't do anything in there. And also I can't go anywhere because I can't go out of my front door. Our little bike ride, by the way, was one giant success. Nolan absolutely loved it. You know, my son just said to me the other day, Mom, I think you need to get rid of your wood stash. Because nobody needs this amount of wood. And then I said, well, my little friend, that's never ever going to happen. It's not about how much wood I have, it is about having the specific right piece for the project that I'm working on when I need it. And that's why I need so much diversity. Just go in there, snoop around and then this is what I need. This color at the moment. It's very calming and lovely. Sweet. Good morning. It's the next day. Now why is this nail poking out? Go back into your little corner. Your little corner of doom. Oh nee. Vrolijkheid. A little corner of happiness. We need to stay positive. I decided that I am going to keep the little plate, but not the old knob. Because I decided that this little old knob that I still had lying around is going to look a lot better. Now don't you guys think that this is the perfect little tea cabinet? Do we want to keep the inside of this cabinet nice and simple and plain, or do we want to add a little piece of lace over here in front of this shelf? This is the more retro option. Option number 2 is more simple and definitely also more romantic. And then last but not least, so let me know your opinion. First option, second option, third option, or let's keep it simple. So yeah, I am looking forward to painting this windowsill. I already did some filler and oh, by the way, I also added a couple of pieces of trim over here in the corner and on the sides too. I glued some extra pieces of MDF all the way around the entire windowsill, and by the time that I'm going to be finished with it, you are never going to see all of the mistakes that I made. Over here in front of the window, I actually made a lid because I decided that we do need access to this radiator. I still need to add the hinges. We are going to have some openings over here because the warm air also needs to be able to come out. The same openings that I also have in the windowsill in my living room. Now some of the jobs that are on the top of my list over here in this corner are cleaning of the last part of the brick wall over here. The painting of the white wall that I have over there. At the moment I am considering hanging this amazing painting over here in front of the brick wall because I think it looks very beautiful together. I love the colors of this painting. I also love her face because it is a bit different. I think that she looks like someone who has a very kind personality but also a very strong personality. Or at least that's my interpretation of this painting. In the next few coming days I'm going to focus on painting this windowsill, and in between layers, when all of this needs to dry, I am going to finish my tiny little hallway makeover first. So probably you are going to see a continuation of this project after my tiny little hallway makeover video, or at least for now that's the plan that I have. I really hope you enjoyed watching this fun building project, and I also really hope to see you in the next one.